Hello everyone, welcome back to Hayley's Space. My name's Hayley, I'm a nurse and knitter from Melbourne, Australia, and I'm back today with another podcast episode. This is actually the last podcast episode for 2024, which is insane. It's crazy how fast the year has gone, but I'm really excited to be sitting here and filming and recapping my knitting from this month today. I have so much to update you on today, not just about knitting, but about life as well. But before I get into that, I wanted to say a huge thank you to today's video sponsor, which is Hooks and Needles. If you haven't heard of Hooks and Needles, they're a subscription box for knitters, crocheters, and crafty lovers as well, where each month you can choose between the knitting, crochet, or amigurumi box, and the box contains all the materials and equipment you need to make any of the projects featured in that month's magazine. What's great about Hooks and Needles is that all the equipment and everything is included in the box, all the way from the yarn to the needles to the hardware that you need for some of their projects, and the pattern magazine as well. There's no need to go out and buy extra supplies. Everything that you need is in your box every single month, which makes this subscription service perfect for any beginners or even intermediate crafters who are looking to try a different craft. Maybe you're an intermediate knitter who wants to try crochet, but you just want to give it a go and you don't want to buy too much stuff. You can get the Hooks and Needles crochet box for that month and give it a go. They're a flexible subscription service as well, which means you can pause and resume your subscription at any time, which is perfect if you need to finish up any whips or work through some of your stash before acquiring any more yarn. This month I received one of their knitting boxes containing some beautiful yarn from all the way in Portugal. The yarn is 50% cotton and 50% wool, is 136 yards in 50 grams and is 100% all natural fibers. The box also contains the magazine, which contains the 3 patterns for this month, as well as the monthly recipe, which is hot chocolate, which is perfect for this month in the lead up for Christmas, and I'm really excited to make that. As well as some hardware for the bag pattern, which is featured in the magazine, and also some project gift tags, which is perfect for my Christmas gift knits. I have a lot of those to show you this month, so I will be using those tags for those gifts. Not only do Hooks and Needles provide you with this box every month as part of your subscription, they have a lot of free online content as well that's included in your subscription, as well as a fantastic online community. They have a Facebook group page where everyone shares their projects and asks questions and shares their knitting and crochet experience all together, which I think is just so fun. These boxes are also the perfect Christmas gift for any beginner knitters in your life or anyone who you want to kind of encourage to start knitting or crocheting with you. My mum, as soon as she saw this box, said that she needed one for Christmas so that she could try and knit up a project alongside me. So I will be getting one of those for her for Christmas. And they have some amazing Christmas and Black Friday deals going at the moment, some bundles as well that you can choose from. So definitely go check out their website. I've linked their website down below, and if you use my code Hayley20 at checkout, you'll get 20% off your first subscription box, which in addition to this Christmas bundles is such a great discount. So definitely go check it out. Everything's linked in the description below. And thank you so much again to Hooks and Needles for sponsoring this month's podcast. If you are new here, I just want to remind you to check me out on Instagram. I post a lot of frequent updates on there, so you can see all of these projects as I'm knitting them up. But with that being said, let's get into it. I do follow a standard podcast format. I start with a little life update, and then I'll talk about my finished objects, my whips, my acquisitions and plans, and then a little bit at the end about what I've been watching, reading, consuming whilst I've been knitting this past month. I have quite a lot to update you on today in terms of life and knitting, so grab a project, grab a nice drink, something to snack on and settle in, because I think it's going to be a little bit of a big one. I feel like I say this every month, but I feel like I was just filming last month's podcast. So much has happened. I'm getting butterflies in my tummy, so I might as well just tell you. I received some pretty exciting and major news at the start of this month. After what has been years and years of dreaming and studying and manifesting and struggling and working, I'm really excited to share with you that I have been accepted into medical school for next year. I think I'm gonna cry. I've cried a lot about it. I'm still kind of processing it because it feels a little bit surreal. It has been a really long journey. I've wanted this for such a long time. And if you were here at the start, when I started my podcast last year, you'll know that I was working very hard towards it and was being very open about it and sharing my experience. And I didn't receive an offer last year, which is kind of why I stopped talking about it. I kind of didn't want to drag on and on in these podcast episodes about me not getting into medicine. So I kind of stopped talking about it. But this year I have still been working towards it. And yeah, I have received an offer and accepted that offer starting in 2025. So as exciting as that is, it means there's a lot of changes happening next year. So I was accepted into a rural pathway, which means I now need to move to a small rural town in Victoria to complete my medical degree. It's something that the government does here. It's a bonded place, which means you study out rurally and you repay those study years by working in that community once you receive your medical degree. So it's a great initiative to get doctors working out in rural areas of Australia. But yeah, it means I have to move. I'll be moving to a country town that's about 2.5 hours out of Melbourne, about 3.5 hours away from where I'm living now. And I will be moving towards the end of January is the current trajectory of things. So yeah, I have started sort of packing up my life here in preparation for that. If you're new here, or maybe you just didn't know, my partner is in the military. He currently lives in Queensland. So a lot of what you see here in our apartment will be moving to Queensland, to where he is, to the house there, because I will be downsizing significantly. So yeah, I've sold the dining table, which is why I'm on the floor, because he bought a new one up there and we didn't need it anymore. And I'll be selling and getting rid of a bunch of stuff from the house over the coming months, which is kind of crazy. It's all a bit surreal. It's all kind of happening quickly, but also slowly at the same time. But it's a really, really exciting journey and exciting adventure. But yeah, that's why the house has also been such a mess in the last couple of videos. I've done a lot of sorting and a lot of shuffling of things around and donating and all of that jazz. So yeah, that's kind of the big news. Because of all of the chaos and mess, I'm not sure how cozy my house is going to be for Vlogmas this year. And that brings me on to my next update as well. I wanted to update a little bit about Vlogmas because I will be doing it again this year. I'll be sticking with the weekly vlog format that I did last year, which I really enjoyed, and I hope you'll enjoy as well. But it is official, my partner and I will be traveling for Christmas this year. We will be heading to the United States of America for Christmas, and I'm so excited. I'm going to take you guys along with me for that trip. That'll be the last week of Vlogmas. So I'm really excited to take you along for that, but also to be in the snow and the cold weather for Christmas. It's getting really hot here, and as much as I love summer, I'm excited for some snow. We are heading to Colorado to visit his dad for Christmas, and then we'll be heading to Walt Disney World in Florida for New Year's. And then after that, we're planning on going to Chicago. Those plans aren't set in stone yet. We've never been to Chicago, so we don't really have any idea of a schedule or things just yet. Haven't fully planned the itinerary, but currently that is the plan. We're going to see a football game, which I've never been to before. I've watched some gridiron before, but I've never been to a game. And we're also going to go watch some ice hockey. Again, I've never been to an ice hockey game, so that's on the cards as well. But yeah, it's kind of our last big trip before I start medical school. So it's going to be a really fun one. That's all the updates that I have. Pretty major ones. But I think it's time that we change the subject and talk about some knitting. I'll talk about briefly what I'm wearing. This is my first ever cumulus blouse v-neck by Petite Knit. I knit this up last year. I think I finished it in like August or September last year. And this is made with Abbey Road, the cries merino, which is a really soft, beautiful yarn, which I highly suggest. The problem with this jumper is that I did size down quite significantly. I wanted a tighter fitting sweater, so tighter sleeves, kind of tighter look all over, but didn't take into account the fact that that would lift the v-neck up quite high. And so I just don't like the cut of it. I don't find it particularly flattering, so I tend to not wear it. And it's getting quite warm now that I'm talking wearing this. I've had the aircon on all afternoon, hence the jumper. But it's getting quite toasty. So that's what I'm wearing. For finished objects, I'm going to start with the biggest, most major ones. And if you've been keeping up with the project vlogs over this past month, you will have seen both of these already. And if you follow me on Instagram as well, you will have seen them. But I'm going to start with my 1031 sweater by Ozetta, which I finished this past month. Here she is. Again, the vlog for this went up last week, so I would have talked at length about this sweater then. As I said, it's a pattern by Ozetta, and the yarn is Lincraft Shadow Marl in the colour Stormy. I used a 6mm needle for the stockinette portions of this sweater and a 5.5mm needle for all of the ribbing. And it is an oversized drop shoulder sweater with this drop shoulder detail with the stitches there. And it has a split hem as well. I'll try not to talk too much about this sweater and my other big finished object, just because I talked obviously a lot in the vlogs about them. But I am in love with the fit of this sweater and the overall look of it. I absolutely adore it. I think drop shoulder sweaters are where it's at for me. I find them the most flattering cut of sweater on me personally, and I just find them so enjoyable to knit up. I love knitting like the back to the front, joining them around. I find that so satisfying. And yeah, this sweater looks fantastic on me. I'm really proud of it. I really love the split hem detail as well. Another end that I haven't woven in, by the way. I love the split hem detail. I think I'm going to incorporate it into some more of my oversized sweater designs. I think it just flatters the body so well and just takes into account my hips, and so it doesn't give me like that weird boxy straight down sort of shape. It still has some shape and flow to it, which I really like. I did frog my book club cardigan officially to knit up this sweater, and it was so much easier to work up this yarn at this larger gauge. I don't know what I was doing with my book club cardigan. It was way too tight. I was literally shoving the stitches off of that needle to try and get them off to frog it. So I'm happy that I ended up working it up at this larger gauge. But obviously the striping did still occur, and I have tried to over dye this. So I used RIT all-purpose dye to try and dye this black. I was hoping that it would go like a pitch black sort of color, but it didn't. It just darkened it overall, which I don't mind. I do like the decreased contrast between the stripes. It does look significantly less stripy than it did. I think this lighting is sort of making it still look quite light, but it has made a difference. In saying that though, some of you commented on my vlog of this sweater and said that I should use the RIT dye more, which is for synthetic fibers, and that will most likely turn this sweater black. And so I think in the coming weeks, I'm going to try the RIT dye more and see if that works. Someone replied to one of those comments and said that what may have made the sweater darker was the natural fibers holding onto the dye, but the synthetic fibers haven't been touched at all. So they said that the dye more may make the synthetic fibers go dark as well. So yeah, I'm going to try and give that a go before we go away, because I have nicknamed this sweater my Chicago sweater. I'm really hoping to wear this in Chicago with like a beanie and like a big long coat. I can just see myself styling this in Chicago. So this is my Chicago sweater, and if I can get it pitch black by the time I leave, that would be perfect. But I think even with the stripes, I'll still wear it. I think it has some charm about it, you know? It's made by me, so I'm not gonna not wear it, because I made it, and that makes me proud of it. I think this is like half a ball of yarn left. I didn't end up using this entire last ball of yarn simply because I was just knitting it up to pattern. I decided not to keep going and just to knit it to pattern and see where we got. So I do have quite a bit of this left over. I'm going to weigh this and see how much it is and then decide what to do with it. I might put it in a scrappy blanket sometime in the future. Maybe if one day I get some black mohair, I could hold it with that and make like a really chunky beanie. But yeah, it just depends how much is in this. I don't think it's 100 grams, but who knows? That's what I've got left. It's really warm. It's really cozy. The fabric is really drapey. And yeah, overall, I'm really proud of it. And I really enjoyed this pattern. I highly, highly recommend the 1031 pattern by Ozetta. Perfect for beginners as well. If you've never knit a drop shoulder construction before, the instructions are super clear. There's diagrams, there's written instructions for everything. Yeah, highly, highly recommend. And I want to make another one in another color. Oh, I just thought maybe like a green, like a rich, dark foresty green, I would really love. Anyway, that's my 1031 sweater, my first finished object for this month. Okay, my next finished object I also posted a vlog about, and I've posted heaps about on Instagram, so definitely go check that out if you want to see the entire process. But this is my Maxine sweater by Laura Penrose of Penrose Knits. Sorry for the wrinkles, it's been folded up on my couch for a couple of days. It is this circular colorwork yoke with a 2x2 ribbed turtleneck and 2x2 ribbing on all the other edges of the sweater as well. I knit this up using Bendigo Woolen Mill's classic 8-ply, and I used a 5mm needle for the colorwork and a 4.5mm needle for the stockinette. And this was my first ever test knit. I applied for this test knit way back, when was it? September, August, something like that, because I was really excited to see this pattern come to fruition, and I've wanted to test knit something for ages, and the fact that I got to test knit for Laura was just such an honor and such a pleasure. I love her patterns, I love her videos, so it was really cool and really satisfying to see this knit up as part of the test knit. The pattern is now released. I will link it down below so you guys can go check that out. I think there's a couple discount codes still happening. I'm not sure if they'll still be available when this video goes up, but go check out Laura's Instagram and her YouTube to see if those discount codes are still valid. But yeah, how gorgeous. I'll put some pictures in because I have plenty of pictures in this sweater and you'll be able to see it better on my body. But the test knit was such a smooth process from start to finish. There were no major flaws in the pattern or the design. Everything came together really smoothly, and the release went just as smoothly as well. I knit up the second size. That's what I was accepted for, but that was not my recommended size in the pattern. The pattern is designed to be oversized and have positive ease, but this one had neutral to negative ease, which I actually think is a really flattering fit. I don't have anything in my wardrobe with that fit at all, and I think it really complements this colorwork design as well. I am so incredibly excited to wear this on Christmas Day. This is my Christmas sweater. Whilst I was knitting it up, we were kind of toying with the plans of going to America for Christmas and seeing if we could organize it and what we could do. And so I was knitting this up with the intention of wearing it for Christmas, but didn't really want to say too much just in case we didn't end up going away. But yeah, it is official. This is my 2024 Christmas sweater, and I will be wearing this on Christmas Day in Colorado. I'm so excited. Again, I vlogged the whole process, so all the details for that are in that video. I'm not going to harp on too much about it, but I do have quite a bit of yarn left over that I will show you what I'm doing with in a minute, but I literally have like whole balls. This yarn comes in 200-gram balls, and I literally used about 5 grams of each of the colorwork colors, so I have quite a lot left to work with. I have quite a bit of the white yarn left as well. This is Magnolia is the name of the color, and I have this much left of that. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with all of it. I could probably make a beanie actually, or like a cable headband or a brioche headband would be really nice in this for my holiday. Oh my god, okay. I have so much yarn in my stash at the moment, which is great. I love it, but I get so inspired so quickly and I just want to cast on all the new things, which is hard when you're Christmas gift knitting because you've got to finish your gifts, but you want to cast on all the new things for yourself. Anyway, I highly recommend you check out this sweater if you're wanting to get into some beautiful color work and feel the festive feels. This is the, I think it's the 6 or the 5 color version, I can't remember, but there's also a 2 color version as well. So if you're not keen to do all of these crazy colors, you can do it in 2 colors as well, and it'll look just as beautiful. Laura is also running a make along at the moment. It's called the To Me From Me Mal, where you knit something for yourself during this time where you're typically gift knitting for other people, and that's running I think until the end of December, I believe, and there's a couple prizes involved with that, so definitely go check out Laura's Instagram. She has all the details for the make along there. But yeah, this was my entry for the To Me From Me Mal for this year. All right, those are my 2 big finished objects. Let's talk about something a little bit smaller. Here is my next finished object. This is the beanie number 5 by My Favorite Things Knitwear, which is a boucle beanie with a double folded brim. Now, I don't know if you can tell, this beanie's too big. I knit this up in the Sirdar Snuggly Boucle yarn, which I bought whilst I was away at the Tarndie farm. There's also a vlog on that, which I will link down below. But I cast this on pretty much the day after I bought the yarn. I can't remember what needle size I used, but I did get gauge. But in typical Hayley fashion, I didn't trust the pattern and I thought it was going to be too small. So I ended up casting on 10 extra stitches on top of the stitch count for the largest size. I think there's 3 sizes in this pattern, and it is way, way, way too big. And I am basically folding the back here. I don't know if you can see that, to account for the largeness of this beanie. I love the way the bulky brim looks though, so that's why I haven't frogged it to knit it again, because it gives off, you know, if there was fur here, do you get my vibe? I don't know what those hats are called, but if there was fur here, that's kind of the vibe that I'm feeling from this beanie. And it's still really warm, so I haven't frogged it, and I don't think that I will. I did knit this up with the intention of taking it away on our holiday, and I think I still will. Can you imagine this beanie with my Chicago sweater? With a little Starbucks in hand, like, I'm so excited. I don't know if you can tell, but I think if I find while I'm over there that it's not actually keeping my head warm, and if it's just too loose and cold, I think I'll probably frog it and reknit it at the appropriate size. But right now, it's working. I'm gonna take this off because I'm starting to sweat. But with regards to the pattern, I have no complaints about the pattern. You guys know I do love my favorite things knitwear patterns. I think there's 4 decrease points on the crown, but you can't really see many of the details because it is boucle, as you can see. She loose. With this one though, I think this is similar to maybe Petite Knit's Oslo hat, I'm not sure. You knit in the round and then you do a short row turn, so that the right side becomes the wrong side, and then you knit the crown in stockinette, if that makes sense, so that when you turn it inside out, it's an all over stockinette hat. Does that make sense? I feel like I didn't really describe that very well, but yeah. that's the beanie number 5. I have nothing really else to say about this. The yarn, great, happy with it. I've never knit with a boucle before. I didn't find it too tricky. I found at some points I was sort of missing the stitch and going through a loop instead, but wasn't that hard to pick up on and to catch. I think if this was maybe a darker color boucle, I'd find it more difficult, but there she is. She's not perfect, but she's mine. Okay, I have 3 of the same thing to show you, and they are my Christmas gift knits for 2024. And the pattern is the Pumpkin Spice Hot Water Bottle cover by Laura Penrose of Penrose Knits. So don't know if you recognize these yarns, but this is my leftover yarn, my Bendigo Woolen Mills Classic 8 ply. This is the color Ember Mix. This dark brown is Caramel, and then this I think is the light brown, which is Raffia. And yes, I'm knitting these up as my Christmas gift knits for this year using a 4mm needle. This one here is for my boyfriend's dad. Very, very, very cute. And this one here is for my boyfriend's sister, which I hope she'll like. And then I have one which is currently on the needles, which is for my boyfriend's mum in this gorgeous, gorgeous green color. So with this one, you're supposed to do a Judy's Magic cast on, but she says as well, you can always just do a normal cast on, and then seam it up at the end, which is what I've been doing, which I actually really like the look of. I think it looks really neat and really clean as well. Very professional. And then you do some increases, knit in a tube, do your decreases, and then do ribbing for the little collar of the hot water bottle. And I'm just up to the ribbing on this one. Now, with these 2 plain ones, I was planning to make them matching and do duplicate stitch of their first initials on them. And I started doing that at work the other night. Oh. But what I did is I held the yarn double. This is using Magnolia, by the way. And I held the yarn double. I don't know why I chose to do that. It was literally 4 a.m. in the morning and I was sitting at the desk doing this. And I don't know why I thought it was okay. But it's just come out way too bulky. I think you can see on the back there. I think as well I'm just doing it too tight as well. But it's also just too bulky with the 2 strands. So I'm going to unravel it and get rid of the duplicate stitch because it just does not look good. And I'm just going to hope that with blocking the stitches will even out and it will look okay. If not though, I literally knit this whole thing up. I cast this part on during my night shift. I think it was like maybe 1 a.m. or something, and I'd done everything I needed to do. Everyone was asleep. I cast it on, and then it was like 4 a.m. and I was up to the ribbing. So if I have a couple hours free in the afternoon where I'm not doing anything, I reckon I could whip it up in like the span of a movie. You know what I mean? So if it doesn't block out and it doesn't look good, I can always just whip up another one. But that means I don't think I'm going to end up doing the duplicate stitch on these. I think I'm just not that skilled at it yet. And for gift knits, I always want to send things that are perfect, even though they never are. It's a gift, so I want it to look as good as I possibly can make it. So yes, with regards to this one, this design is actually the Mudo sock pattern. The charts from the Mudo socks by the Petite knitter. And what's great about this hot water bottle cover pattern is that it has stitch counts reflective of most colorwork sock stitch counts. So when I figured that out, I got really excited and thought I can do absolutely anything I want with this hot water bottle cover. And I just think that's fantastic. Laura has designed a fantastic pattern. And there's also empty charts at the bottom of the pattern as well. So you can literally draw your own. I think people have started calling that like knitting doodling. I think I've heard the phrase somewhere on the internet. But yeah, so I took the Mudo socks and put them on a hot water bottle cover. And for the fourth one that I'm going to make for his grandma, I'm going to use the November Colorwork Cuff Club sock chart for that one, which I'll show you that chart in a second. But yeah, that's kind of it. It's going to be the collection of the 4 of them for my boyfriend's family. I hope they like them. Now, with regards to the hot water bottles, I know Laura mentioned in one of her podcasts that you can get them pretty cheap on Amazon. And I'm sure if you're in Europe or America, you can. Aussies, if you're listening, correct me if I'm wrong, but I could not find a cheap mini hot water bottle on Amazon or online. This is the mini, by the way, which is 500 mils. She also has the larger size, which I think is like a 1 liter hot water bottle or something. But yeah, I couldn't find a cheap 500 ml hot water bottle online. And so I was kind of scouring all the stores, Chemist Warehouse, Priceline, all those kinds of places. And I landed on Big W, which is one of our like chain retailers, kind of like Target in America and Kmart here. And they had a 4-pack of 450 ml hot water bottles. And so I ordered 2 4-packs of those, so 8 of them in total. And they will ship here hopefully this coming week. I will link that down below for any of you Aussies who are watching who want to get these hot water bottles. Because yeah, Amazon was just charging egregious amounts for their shipping. The hot water bottle itself was like $9 Australian dollars. But the shipping was going to charge me like $30 for 4 of these hot water bottles. I was like, that's ridiculous. You're going to charge me literally almost $80 for 4 mini tiny hot water bottles. That's ridiculous. So yeah, I've got 2 4-packs from Big W and I think it was like $70 in total. So a great option if you're looking for a gift net and you need the actual bottle and you live in Australia. So I'll link that down below. Check that out if you're looking to buy any. But yeah, I'm hoping to have all 4 of these finished and shipped off in the coming weeks. Obviously his dad's will come with us to America and I will gift it to him in person on Christmas Day. But as for the other 3, I'm hoping to ship them off in the coming weeks so they can have them by Christmas time. I'm really enjoying this pattern. It's super, super quick. It's super intuitive. By the time I cast on the 3rd one, I was like, I know what I'm doing. I don't really need to look at the pattern, which is fantastic for gift knits. You just want to sit there and get through them. Perfect choice. Those are all my finished objects, I think. I'm pretty sure I haven't finished anything else this month. I've really put all my other whips to the side. So my dad's modified Moby is on hold, and my mini mock neck tank's on hold, and my blouse number 11 is on hold, just because I've been getting through these 2 sweaters and also my Christmas gift knits. So when I pick those back up again, I will show you, hopefully during Vlogmas at some point. But I will talk about some whips today that I have been working on, starting with the November Colorwork Cuff Club socks. Now, I've talked about these a lot The Colourwork Cuff Club is a pattern designed by Summerly Knits, and you make a one-off payment and each month you receive a new colourwork chart for a pair of socks. And the November chart came out and I was super happy. I was a bit unsure as to what they were going to do for November, seeing as it's kind of that weird time between Halloween and Christmas where it's like kind of festive but not really, and some people get a bit angry about people celebrating Christmas too early. I'm not one of those people. I have been listening to Christmas carols since November 1st. But anyway, I wasn't sure what chart they were going to come up with this month, but I'm really happy with the one that got released, and I have finished one sock. Here it is. How gorgeous. So stunning. It's this beautiful, like, I think it's Fair Isle sort of design on the leg. And I have knit this up in Drops Fabel using a 2.5mm needle. You guys will have seen last month I made a massive order from Wool Warehouse for my birthday with a bunch of sock yarns, including a heap of Drops Fabel. And so I did buy this yarn with the intention of making some Christmas socks out of them, and here they are. So I did make some changes this month, just based on my experience with the last couple of months' socks. So I knit the rib in 1x1, as I have done. I think I did that 2 months ago, just because I prefer it and I find that it stays up easier. It's a bit more of a tighter rib for me. I did the colourwork chart as suggested in the pattern, and I just think it's so stunning. But I knit the leg longer than I normally do. As I always say, I have big calves, so for me, socks that go up too high, they don't fit over my calves, and I just find they're not that flattering. But this month I wanted socks that would, you know, come up above my ankle of my Ugg boots, and you'd be able to see them, and, you know, that have that very like festive, cozy Christmas feel. And so yeah, I knit the leg a little bit longer than normal, which I'm really happy about, and it does fit over my leg, thank God. It's a bit of a tight squeeze on the rib here, but that's okay. And then another change I made, I knit the heel flap a little bit longer. This is just a slip stitch heel flap and gusset. And I found the suggested length for the heel flap in the pattern was too short for me. And some of you have also shared that sentiment as well. So I have knit this month's one a little bit longer, but picked up the same suggested amount of stitches for the gusset as well. So I just changed my pickup rate for that, which I find is great for the fit, because whilst it gives extended length on the heel, it sort of cinches in the gusset. I hope that's making sense. But then, yeah, I knit everything else the same and to pattern with the wedge toe as well as every month. I'm still not keen to try any other heel or toe constructions with these socks. Maybe as we get along in the months. As the months go by, maybe I'll try something new for the Colourwork Cuff Club just for fun. But as for now, this is where we're at. There is an extra little line of stitches that you can do, just the alternating contrast and main colour stitches before the toe, but I didn't end up doing that. I think I forgot. When I was writing my notes for this podcast, I was like, oh, I was supposed to do colourwork here, but I think it looks fine without, and it'll be inside my slippers whilst I'm in Colorado, so these will keep my feet nice and warm in the snow, which I'm so excited about. As for the yarn, the Drops Fabel is really soft. It's really nice and very warm as well. I have no complaints about it so far. We'll see how it wears. I haven't really knit with any proper sock yarns before and actually finished the socks. You guys know I have 2 socks on hold at the moment, 2 different socks on hold that are made with sock yarns. So I don't know how this is going to wear, but I will keep you guys updated and I will let you know. I'm excited to see what chart gets released for December. I hope Summerly leans into like festive Christmas, like we get some Christmas motifs, you know, like I don't know, like Christmas trees or gingerbread. I would love gingerbread socks. I think that would be so fun. So, and I think I have some yarn for it now. So hopefully we get some really fun charts. So that's the Colourwork Cuff Club for November. I haven't cast on the second sock yet because I am currently knitting up a different pair of socks, which I will tell you about now. I'm in the middle of a row, so we're going to rectify that situation. But yeah, I don't know when I will cast on the second Colourwork Cuff Club sock. Maybe I'll cast it on at work tonight. I've got another night shift tonight, and just while I have a minute, just so that it's on the needles. But I definitely want them done before we go away or before Christmas at least, so I can wear them whilst we're over there. I won't be wearing much knitwear at Disney World, just because, you know, it's Florida and it can be quite warm. It gets cold in the evenings though, so I'm going to pack some like lighter knitwear. But yeah, like I won't be taking my, you know, knitted socks with me to Florida. So hopefully they'll be done by Christmas, so I can wear them around the house and by the fire. Okay, I finished the row. I don't know why I always do that. So I told my boyfriend that I wanted to knit him up some Christmas socks. This was while we were at Tarndie. And I ended up showing him the November chart as well for the November Colourwork Cuff Club socks, hoping that he would say he'd want a pair of those so we could match. But we did go through Ravelry and he decided on a different pair of Colourwork socks for Christmas. And those are the Mountain Pine socks by Stone Knits, which are these really, really cute festive Christmassy socks. I'll put the picture here. But yeah, they have like what looks to be mountains and Christmas trees on them as well, with all over alternating stitches, so they look like spots. And I am knitting these up for my boyfriend in Drops Fabel as well, in this blue color, with the contrast color is going to be this gray. I was thinking of doing it in white as well, but I just thought the muted gray would just look so pretty. This is color 114. So yeah, those are the colors for his socks. He loves navy and he loves grey, so I'm really excited to knit these up for him. I'm knitting them up using a 2.5mm needle, and I'm knitting up the second size for him. I've knit up half of the cuff ribbing, got half left to go. And I also hope that I'll have these done by the time we go away, at least so he can wear them a little bit before Christmas rolls around. And I hope he'll get some use out of them as well, and that he'll like them. I have nothing really to say about the patterns so far. I haven't knit any Stone Knit socks yet. I have bought a few and I'm really excited to try out their patterns, just because I'm really all about colourwork socks at the moment. And I do have the yarn for the berry special socks, I think they're called. So yeah, we'll see how this goes and I'll let you know my thoughts on the pattern as we go along. But for right now, this is all I've got. And that's all I have to say. Okay, the last whip I have to talk to you about is another gift knit as well. We're all about gift knits today. I said last month I really need to start my gift knits because I've been saying every month since August that I need to start it. I have now. So a couple months ago, I knit up a beanie for my dad using the Crofting in Scotland pattern by Monazilla. I think that's how you pronounce it. And my brother saw it and he wanted a matching one, just in different colors. So I have cast that on for him. I've just done the ribbing portion of the beanie. This is Annette Erikson Scandi wool. I don't know what color this is, but it's a 50% wool, 50% acrylic yarn. And I'm knitting this up using a 3.5mm needle. Now on my dad's, I knit the ribbing with a like a fold. I'm not going to be knitting a fold this time. I'm just going to do ribbing like this, and I'm going to start the color work now. That's all the ribbing I'm going to do. I just wanted to try something different. I've done a lot of beanies with folds in them, double folded brims, all of that jazz. I just wanted to do something different for a change, and I think he'll like it. Now the one I knit up for my dad had this blue as like the accent color. This is the color Denim, and so it was these three colors all together. But for my brother, he wants something different. So he wants this color, which is called Sienna. And so those are going to be the three colors for his beanie. So they're going away to the States as well, but in May or June, I think, and they're doing like a hiking trip. They're going to Yosemite, all of these other places. So my brother wanted to have a matching beanie with my dad for that trip. So I told him I'd make him it for Christmas, and that's that so far. As I said, I've only done the ribbing portion. This yarn is good to work with, but it is very fluffy. Just keep that in mind. You can see the halo there. The fluff definitely gets in my throat and makes me sneeze. But it's a really, really soft, beautiful yarn to work with. So would highly, highly recommend. I'm going to have quite a bit left over. I've got quite a bit of the blue left over, and I assume I'll have a lot of the orange as well. So I don't know. Could make something cool with this in the future. Maybe I can see like a 2-color brioche situation. Now, I'm getting carried away. I need to slow down. This is on the needles. It's going well. I'm going to start the color work tonight. That's all I have to say on this one. I think that's all the active whips that I have on the needles at the moment. I really want to get these Christmas gifts done and sent off before I head away, obviously, so that people can get them by Christmas time, and then also so I can cast on some new things for myself as well. I do have some more yarn to show you. I have some acquisitions to share. Now, as I said, I went away to Tarndie. That was for my birthday. Tarndie is a sheep farm and a yarn maker, dyer, seller, all of that jazz that's been in this one family for years and years and years, and they have accommodation on their property. So we went and stayed there, and Tom opened up the shop for me so I could check out what was in there. And I know I showed you guys the yarn in that vlog, but I'll quickly show you now just in case you missed it. Firstly, this is the leftover sirdar snuggly. I got this from Fabrics 123 in Colac, which is the town that's near Tarndie. From that store as well, I also got this Casca sock yarn. This is a yarn from Peru, and it is 100-gram skein in, I don't know what color this is. This is color F932. There's no color name, but this is their Sky Collection 4-ply printed sock yarn, 75% merino, 25% nylon. It's this crazy mix of pinks and stuff. I was planning on getting an orange skein that they had there that I kind of had my eyes on, but I realized that my October Colorwork Cuff Club socks were orange, and so I wanted to try something different. So I've got this pink. I don't normally knit with pinks, so I don't know what socks I'm going to make with that, but we'll see. Who knows? Now, from Tarndie, I got a couple of skeins. This first one is this beautiful red. This is one of their 8-ply. Yeah, 8-ply hand-dyed yarns in this beautiful red color, color 372. Now the thing with Tarndie yarns, Tom was telling me, they do all their hand dyeing during the summer and then sell their yarns throughout the year. They do some yarn dyeing throughout the year as well, but most of it during summer because it makes the yarn dry quicker, obviously, because it's hotter. And so that means he said they don't really have recipes for their hand dyes. They just kind of dye with what they've got and then sell what they have. So I think a lot of their colorways are quite limited. So whatever is on their website online is also what's available in store. So I just got one skein of color 372, which is this really nice red. I want to knit up a cable beanie in this for Christmas. Again, as soon as we figured out that we were definitely going to the States for Christmas, I was just all over the Christmas wintry knits. So I got that one. Then I got one skein of this beautiful glassy icy blue. Again, hand dyed. This is a 4-ply, color 233. I just got one of those. I'm not too sure what I'm going to make with this actually. I thought maybe holding it with a mohair could be really beautiful, like a white, like a really pure white mohair. But yeah, I don't really know what to do with 100 grams of fingering. I don't really have a lot of fingering weight yarns. I do now, but I didn't used to before. So it's really exciting to try those out, but I just don't really know what I can make with them. Then I got 2 of these gorgeous green 4-ply yarns. All of these are 100% Polworth sheep wool, by the way. And this one is color 174. I think there was 2 skeins left of this in the store, maybe 1 after I bought these 2. So check on the website. Whatever's on the website is what's available in store. But yes, I got 2 of those with the intention of maybe holding it with a mohair or something, making like a loose gauge blouse or top. Then I bought a sweater's quantity of yarn, or what I think is a sweater's quantity of yarn, for the Caribou Crossing sweater by the Petite Knitter, I think. And so I got, how many balls? 1, 2, 3. 6 balls of their 100% Polworth wool natural undyed yarn. So this is cream. This is an 8-ply yarn. I was looking for an 8-ply sweater quantity. So my phone died, and in the time that it's taken to regain life, I've almost lost the light. So I'm going to try and make this quick. But this is the contrast color I'm going to use for my Caribou Crossing sweater. I really love the stark contrast between the white and the blue. I think that's going to be so gorgeous. So that's what I plan to do with that. I just got one skein of this, which I think will definitely be enough for the contrast, but we'll find out. Whilst I was there as well, Tom got me into spinning. So I did get a Majakraft, I think it's called, or Magi something. I can't remember what it's called. I'll link it down below, but a drop spindle. And it comes obviously with the stick here, which kind of looks like a magic wand. And then it comes with different size paddles that you slip on, and it changes the weight on there. So I got one of those and I tested it out with some of their Polworth undyed top or roving. Someone told me the difference, I've already forgotten. And so I tried that out and I got these two out of all of that, which is not the greatest. It's a little bit messy in parts, but it was a nice first try. And then I felt inspired. So I got myself this beautiful pink braid, which I have not started yet. This is a mix. This is Polworth wool and mulberry silk, hand dyed as well, 100-gram braid. So I'm really, really excited to give this a go and try it out. I just think it's just a stunning color. It's so soft. I don't know what I'll make with it, but I'm excited to keep going on my spinning adventure. And my boyfriend literally said to me earlier today, he was like, you haven't done any spinning since you got back. And I was like, you're so right. I need to. So I think I will take some with me when we go away, just for those quiet evenings when I want to do some spinning. So yeah, those are all my acquisitions, I think. Yes, that's it for acquisitions and plans. I just want to finish up the Christmas gift knits and maybe cast on a sweater project for myself before we leave, but we'll see. It's getting really dark now, so I'm going to quickly speed through what I've been watching. Actually, I'm only going to talk about what I've been planning to watch. And the first of those is The Wicked movie. The Wicked movie was released, I think, last week as you're watching this. And I'm so excited to go and see it. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm really excited. Wicked means a lot to me. It means a lot to my brother as well. It's something that we bond over. So it looks fantastic. It looks incredible. And I'm kind of really happy that it's only part 1, because then we get to live it all again when we go see part 2. But yeah, I don't know when I'm going to go see it, but I'm very excited for that. Another thing that was released this past week was the trailer for the How to Train Your Dragon live action. Again, How to Train Your Dragon is something that means a lot to me. I recently got a new tattoo on my leg, which I won't show you because I'm in my pajamas, but it's got Toothless involved in the tattoo. So How to Train Your Dragon means a lot to me. And I was a bit skeptical and a bit nervous about the live action version coming out, but it looks beautiful. It looks really incredible. And you can really tell that it's a project that has been made with so much love and passion for the world and for the universe. And it's directed by the original creator and director of the animated films. So I'm really excited to see that. It feels like a lot of the live action films we're getting, Disney, cough, cough, don't have the heart and the soul and the passion and the character that the original films have that made us love them so much. And I feel like this film has just absolutely blown me away with all the feels. So I'm really excited to see that. So those are 2 things that I'm excited to see. As for Formula 1, I literally finished watching Vegas an hour ago. Lo and behold, Max Verstappen has won the championship mathematically, so there's no way that he can lose the championship in the next few races when the season ends. So lo and behold, Max is another world champion, which is great. That's awesome for him. Congratulations. I'm really excited for next season, and I'm hoping that with McLaren showing up and pulling through with some amazing driving, and also with all of the driver and team switch ups, you know, Lewis is going to Ferrari, and we're getting a lot of changes just across all of the teams. I'm really hoping for some really exciting racing next year. I did get tickets to qualifying for the Melbourne GP. So I'll be going to that. Won't be going to race day this year. We've decided not to do race day. We couldn't get tickets for race day first and foremost, but secondly, we're happy that we're not going to race day. We're just going to watch it from the TV this year, which is kind of exciting to just be able to actually see the whole race unfold. But yeah, that's kind of the Formula 1 update. It's getting so dark. I'm so sorry. Please tell me what you've been working on whilst watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry, it literally got pitch black so quickly. I thought I had more time, but that's okay. Thank you again to Hooks and Needles for sponsoring this video, and I hope you're safe and well wherever you are, and I'll see you in my next one. Happy knitting. Bye.